Yes, hello and welcome to the Sploder tutorials and tips and tricks. This series aims to find a way to teach you on how to make better games, and currently we're in the physics creator. So this one is kind of one of those theories behind everything the theory work, and this episode we go through the control section. This going through each one of these options, and I'll be telling you what they do to the characters. So starting off at the moment, I'm just going to create what would be a playable character, of course a square, and he will move around a screen as so. So we've got this square here, as you can see now. So this isn't a tutorial for making a game, but it's teaching you how to put them in to making a game, and of course this will link back to some of the previous episodes in making and advancing the game. All of them are available on the eye icon in the top right corner. Anyway, so we've got our playable character. Of course, the first things you always do are the play field and the background. But in this case, I'm just going through the controls. So our first control here is the rotator. So the description is rotates an object using the keyboard left and right arrow keys or A and D keys. So putting this on, as you can see, our character drops, but this one applies with this settings on here, especially this one. So as you can see, we drop down and we could turn like that. So that could be used for a rolling figure, whatever. It's kind of a good one if you circle. Of course, it could be used in different ways. Because it's not bad, that one. So that one is the rotation there, because there's a lot of stuff, but make sure if you do this one, you don't have any of the bottom two options, as this one needs it to turn around. Anyway, going to the next one is the mover. This is simply the pushes an object with the keyboard up and down keys. Now this one would be to move it up. Now in our case, we can't really use it. This is more for the 2D kind of games. So playfield, if the gravity is off, this is where I mean. So this would be up, down, like that. You cannot do it with the gravity on. It doesn't matter which of these on, as long as you don't have the 4 dots ones. But gravity for that one to work has to be turned off. So I'm turning back on as we go to our next one. Now this one applies on whatever except the 4 dots. Never do the 4 dots. This is the slider. This is probably one your key. The description is it pushes an object left and right. So this is literally the main movable item here, and probably one of the main ones I use in most games there, because it don't matter for the gravity or whatever. The jumper is for when gravity is on. Of course, this allows the user with the up arrow or the W arrow to jump up, and of course double jump by double tapping it. Of course, at this stage the left and right would probably be turned on, so you could turn left and right there. Of course, to remove a control, you press the X there. The arcade mover, so this allows for tighter arcade movement without acceleration. So using the WASD or arrow keys, platformer mode in playfield with gravity. So as you can see, it allows a better control with your keys for, as you can see, playfield. So it is a better controller and it feels better. It goes left, right, up, down, and it feels a lot better to control. That is the arcade. The next is the selector. So I only allow one object to be controlled at a time. So this means if we had 2 objects, so let's say we had this one, and this one's selected. So at the moment, currently, this one has been selected, meaning this one is the one under control. However, if we wanted to control this one, we click it. So this option is if you have like 2 playable characters, as you can see, clicking that will deactivate the controls of this right one. So it's a weird one, Selector, something I never really use, but it's more good for them split screen games or multitasking games there. Let's delete this. After clicking the arrow, we get the adder. So this adds a copy of the object to the game using the spacebar. So putting this, by pressing the spacebar, you can add blocks like this. Of course, this is useful in games like Flappy Bird. As well, with this icon selected, you can move the arrow about on this one adjusting all of the settings there like so. The next one is the launcher. So this is bouncing, touching objects towards the mouse. So this means, sorry, of course this is locked. I actually don't know what that one does. Bounces, touching objects towards the mouse. Okay, so this aims the square towards the mouse. Now, I think for this one to work, you would need to add the adder. You have to investigate that one yourself. It is somewhat related to the adding around. So let's... yeah, it's an odd one. So yeah, do that one yourself there. Now, I can't actually... there you go, do Selector. Okay, the next one is the aimer. This one is what I was talking about. You could change position with it with your mouse. Of course, in this case, we don't have a adder, but still it allows an object to be aimed towards the location of the mouse. Now this one is quite a main one to use, the dragger. Now as you can see, we have got a small problem with this button. There we go. This allows you to drag it around and is used mostly in my new game Slifen, of course, where you use dragging as control. It's good, better with certain controls rather than others, of course, in the Selector tool. The thruster. So this is pushes an object with the keyboard in one direction from any location you choose and any key you choose. So in this case, I'm not aware of what key it is, so I think you click here to get, as you can notice, is Z what you have to press, and it thrusts it into whatever location you want. In this case, I think the thruster is pointing up. Let's put it to the left, and as you can see, holding Z will thrust it towards that direction there. So it's pretty key if you're doing a weird moving or car game of the such. And the last is the clicker. So this triggers the on sensor event by clicking the object with the mouse. This will link forward to this options here. So let's say we wanted to remove the mouse is your sensor layer in this case, and testing that, as you can see, it removed. That's good for buttons clicking, like a click here button, as you can see, like that. Very simple. So there you go, they are the controls section. Of course, if you want to go back to find out how to apply these controls into making a game in a game situation, see what I do on the other videos in the series. Of course, the links to all them are on the I button up here if you scroll your mouse or touch on your phone over in this area. Of course, subscribe and like to keep following these tutorials and the other content other than Sploder on my channel there. Anyway, until then, thanks for watching and goodbye.